everyone, and welcome along to the VCO Studio show with me, Ben Constanduros. Here at VCO, as you will know, we are passionate about all things virtual and real-world motorsport, and we like to combine the two. So many of the guests that you'll find on our various social media channels have an interest in both, but none perhaps more so than our guest this week. Ayhancan Güven joins us thanks to Porsche and to Coanda, and that's a very familiar carpet behind you, Ayhancan.
Yeah, I'm in the Coanda Sim house, and this is their famous carpet.
Yeah, and for the moment, based out of there, I understand.
Yeah, the story start beginning of the year because of there is virtual Le Mans after COVID, and since we do it with the Coanda, I want to move there because also my season starts. So I don't want to stuck in the Turkey when my real racing start. So I came here like maybe 5 months ago, and since I was traveling my races around Europe and between races, I'm here with the guys.
That's really cool. I want to talk a little bit more about your relationship with Coanda, which is quite recently announced anyway. But let's kind of rewind back to the very beginning. Where did your interest in motorsport come from?
The first, my father was, let's say, the old racing driver. He started age of 30, 35, and then he liked it. And when I was young, when I was born, so he always dreamed to make me professional racing driver. And since I was 4 or 5, I'm already starting the sim in this age with the Gran Turismo games, and then I start karting, and since that day, the both came together for me. So my father was giving me the interest and chance.
And was he any good?
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah, still I think at the moment he raced with Dave because Dave sent me a message in iRacing. I raced with your father, so I think he's racing now. So yeah, he's
amazing.
He's still really interested on sim because he can't do the real at the moment, but he's making full-time sim. So yeah.
And has that come about because of your massive interest and ability in sim racing? You've kind of shown him the way, and the other way around.
Yeah, the thing is when I was I think I showed my talent my father first time in the sim. So from sim he see I can have ability for this, and he also tried to give me chance in the real life, which is not easy because the motorsport is difficult sport to do. But yeah, and now in these days I think age of 8, 9 I start to beat him. And since that time, he tried to catch me, and I also help him to improve himself. And yeah, for him, it's a bit difficult because he's businessman, so he can spend as time as me. But when like during COVID, when we are locked up in the house, I see he's improved a lot because he's driving full day, and now he's back to work, so it's a bit less for him. But yeah, still you can see it's Sunday and he's driving. So.
Cool. So your kind of early interests in sim racing came from an age of 5 on Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I have some pictures which is like smaller, but I don't remember these ones. Like always, the story was my father driving in the midnight after my mother sleep. So, and in the midnight when I wake up, I go and watch him. And since I can available, he start to open me replays, and I try to drive. In the replay, I feel like I'm driving. So, and this is the how it started. And I remember when I start with playing with the controller. I don't know why, but from some point we don't have the steering wheel, so I drive with controller. So I know he's driving with steering wheel, but then I start with controller, and then I have steering wheel maybe age of 9, 10, and then yeah, it's helpful for also when I do karting in this age, it's also helpful for the real life.
So when you started karting and doing real world motorsport, you didn't slow down and do less sim racing. You just added that on to what you were already doing.
Yeah, for me it was in some point I was focused more on the real life because I have, let's say, 1 season chance to try, so I focus more on the real. But I really remember well, like between age of 13 and 17, I never drive real life. So in this time, I'm just fully focused on Gran Turismo in these days, 5 and 6. And then in the end of this time, I start iRacing because of I have chance in real life. So when I can step up real life, also I start iRacing because in this time I heard it's the most realistic one. And in that time also the Cup car was announced in the iRacing, which I have chance to drive in the real life. So I say, okay, this is the only chance, and I directly start iRacing. And since I think 2017, I'm in iRacing.
Gosh, so your first season in real world motorsport was in a cup car, was it?
Yeah, in Turkey in 2015 and 16, I do some special race, but which is not real race cars. So let's say
Yeah.
half race car from street car. So I do 2 years with them, which is not like maybe 3 4 race in a year. And my only experience in the sim is Gran Turismo in that time. But even with this
Yeah.
experience from Gran Turismo cars, I can feel even in the real life it's really helpful. So and from that point, when I have chance to step up cup car, I know I need to also in the sim do something more, because in Gran Turismo I can feel I'm on the limit and I'm on the top, but I also don't know how to manage everything in the cup car. So I start iRacing, and in 2017 I started to drive cup car in the same time. So yeah, my first real racing car is Porsche Cup car, I must say.
And then you chose in your real world career to race in France. How was that kind of experience for you, having really only been racing in Turkey before and mainly online?
Yeah, the thing is like the France. I choose French championship because in that time in the French championship there is some together races with the other championships. So I have more chance
Okay.
to show my talent other countries, other tracks. I can see more like Spa, Barcelona. I have chance to see these tracks, not just France tracks. So it's French championship, but it's international. So this is the reason I choose French championship. And since I start French championship, I put interest on the teams on the French, and for 2 years I raced in the French team, which is one of the biggest French racing team in the French motorsport. So, and now I have good communication with them, and I'm a little bit also now for 2 years in the French, spend too much time with the French people and French teams. But yeah, and then of the day the Porsche was German, so I was like international, I must say, everywhere. But the French is always have important point in my life because I start racing there and I work with French people. So yeah, it's pretty special.
And also two-time champion in the Carrera Cup France. So,
Yeah,
and I think the only non-French person to do that, which is pretty
yeah,
cool. You continued on a high level though, sim racing all the way through, and before kind of this whole situation of COVID and lockdown happened, you were still doing a huge amount of sim racing, and your
yeah.
level was incredibly high.
Yeah, I must say, like in 2018 pro qualifying, I qualify maybe P9, so I have pro license.
Wow.
And the dream was
Yeah.
in 2019, I want to do my Super Cup iRacing World Championship in the same time in the real life. So after real life session or before session, I want to drive. But in some point, my real team don't want to let to do this because when they see the schedule, there is many clashes, and that will be like I need to drive sim just 1 hour before my real session. So they say, okay, Ayhancan, it's a bit too much. We don't want you to disturb yourself with the sim and can't focus the real one. So in 2019, I can't do the pro series. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit unlucky. It's always my dream to race in world championship in iRacing because for me it's always I have 2 3 times that 2 3 months where I can focus sim racing, and when I really push I can feel I'm in a good level. But still I really like the competition there because it's really pure, and the level of the talented guys are really high. So I always like, for me the sim racing helpful because of I'm pushing. So I don't feel it's sim racing helpful because I just driving and learn tracks. For me it's
Hmm.
when I drive in high level, this is where I feel it's helpful for my real life career, because this is the moment where I push like hell, and in the mentally I have pressure and the small details. This is where you improve yourself. So for me, the point of doing sim racing is fighting for the top also in the sim racing.
And he became a Porsche Junior, so you had a relationship therefore with the manufacturer, and then of course this horrible situation of COVID occurred. But actually, as a sim racer and somebody who had been so passionate about it, this pushed you into the fore in front of many other real world drivers because you had the ability in the virtual world, whereas others didn't have the experience.
Yeah, I must say the Porsche Motorsport is a really big family. And when I been there for, let's say, close to 1 year, I remember first time I go manufacture last year with the all factory drivers and the people involved, and it's really big, and there is really important people. And then I'm their Porsche Junior, which is they invest us, they believe us, and they want to improve our talent because they see we have talent, but they want to make us more complicated drivers. So in that moment, I'm junior driver. But since with the COVID, yes, I'm sure it's affect my real life career maybe in a short term little bit bad because I'm in a really good. In rhythm with the real career and with the team with the championships. I'm really good on the rhythm. Yeah, for sure it's a little bit stop my rhythm in the real life, but with the IMSA in the iRacing, this is first time also I met with the Coanda guys. The Porsche wants to do as a factory team, and
Yeah.
as a junior driver they put me IMSA car, so with the Laurus Vantor and Nick Tandy, which is the real IMSA drivers, and they put me. So already this is a really big step for me because driving with these factory drivers, in Discord we spend hours with them, which is not possible normally. It's not easy to
Mm.
spend 10 hours a day with Le Mans winner. So it's also good for me with the learning from them, and then the big opportunity came with the 24 hour of Le Mans, and
Yeah.
yeah, also with Nick Tandy, myself, and Tommy Oscar and Joshua Rogers, the world champion iRacing. We have a strong team, which is even when I see the lineup, I feel special because I feel it's a strong team. So yeah, it's for me, it's really special and really good time working with the Porsche, working with Coanda guys, and yeah, it's huge experience, I must say.
You talk about Le Mans 24. Of course, you and all of your teammates had so much experience on iRacing, but 24 Hours of Le Mans was on R Factor. How much adjustment and change did that take to be fast on that platform when you have so much years of experience on another?
For me, at the moment, like for me from iRacing, the R Factor, it's not that difficult for me. But after I drive R Factor, now I struggle with the comeback iRacing. So because I drive, let's say 2 months R Factor, and this is for me from first lap. It's not, it's some difference, but it's easy. But now I drive iRacing for 2 days here, and I'm struggle. I don't know. It's because of from R Factor to iRacing, or I just not driving for 2 months. But I'm a little bit struggle with the iRacing at the moment. And R Factor, I must say, it's really good game. I was enjoyed the 24-hour race with this weather change and all graphics around. So I must say also I really like the live stewards, which I always want to have in the sim racing, and we have it in R
Yeah.
Factor. I really like it and enjoy. And yeah, when you prepare like us, we prepare really really good. And when you prepare that well, the 24-hour is just like good enjoyment because we know what to do. Everything is under control. There is 4 or 5 engineer in the background work for you from radio. They give you the thing. So I must say this is one of the best experience I ever had in the sim. Also compared to my real life experience, it still feels really special.
And of course, not only did you take part in it with so many legendary drivers, I think 4 or 5 current Formula One drivers entered the race, but then you also took victory. And that, how did that compare to the experiences and victories that you've had previously?
Yeah, I must say the feeling, and after the race, the enjoyment of the feeling is, I say, the is same with my biggest victories in the real life. I don't feel any difference.
Wow.
Or also for 5 days I still feel I have still smiling in my face because of the winning this race. So because it's really big event, you can feel it. How big is it? So, and yeah, the for me it's really special. Also the race was in it, so really nice for us. There is no mistake from anyone. There is no unlucky moment. There is no disconnect. So disconnect is for me the mechanic failure in real life. So there is no
Yeah.
disconnect. Everything is go well, and yeah, at the end we win the race.
But you tell me that after winning the race, they confiscated or took away your rig. Explain a little bit about that.
Yeah, this is like I need to ask Philip more detail, but what I know, the rig I win, I drive. We make picture with Josh on it, and then it's gone. But I heard it's goes somewhere important, but I don't know where. But this is like 24-hour Le Mans winning rig. Maybe they want to keep it. Maybe in the future we see it somewhere because this is the first 24-hour Le Mans ritual. So maybe in the future
Yeah.
it can be really, really important rig.
Sitting there amongst the Le Mans winners of Porsche, the sim rig of you guys. That's absolutely amazing. So you were actually at Coanda for the 24 hours, were you?
Yes.
Yeah. That must have been an amazing experience also, with all of those guys around, all focused on victory and focused on racing with Porsche.
This is what I really like, because I do with them also IMSA already, so I know the way they work and stuff. But when I live in the house, when I see the passion of the guys, and they're they prepare race like the real one, so it's not, it's like, it feels really good. And when you are with them, it's for myself, it's easier because everything is under control. I know what I need to do. They think about all small details, which, because of their experience in the sim racing, they calculate everything. And also Porsche give us big support, so we also get from Porsche the real experience they have. So the real and sim top teams are get combined, and then it's really good result.
So Le Mans middle of June, and then start of July, back into the real world, back into your Super Cup car. How was the adjustment? Did you find that you brought things over from your sim racing experience into the real car, or things that helped, or even things that hindered?
I must say, sim racing is always helpful in my career, but since, I don't know why, this season I don't feel really well after I driving sim that much to go cup car. I don't know why, but I don't feel as good as before. I don't know the reason really. Also, I'm surprised a little bit with this season. Maybe because of we are stopping really long time, maybe 7-8 months we are not driving cars. So maybe this is the reason. This is not because of the sim, but for me this year is take a little bit more time than the others to get used to the real life. I don't know the reason really, because I'm kind of guy who came from sim, so let's say half sim. So for me it's easier normally, but I don't know why this season is a bit difficult for me with the real. But now we are getting back, so everything is getting a little bit better. But it's for me it's not easy season. In the sim I have some Le Mans 24-hour win, which still make this year special for me. What happened ever,
Yeah.
but still I have a bit more expectation in the real season from 2020. But yeah, there is some things to learn, and I hope still the season is long, so still I have 86 race to go in the Super Cup and National Car Cup France. But still, until now it's not as good as I want. And when I remember when I drive cup car after a long time, it feels a little bit weird because of the speed feeling and everything. This season is a bit different, but yeah, I think it's not about the sim. I think it's more about me. So
Okay. We're talking to Ayhancan Güven, the Turkish Porsche Super Cup driver, and also now a member of the Coanda Simsport team. Obviously, that came about because you are now located with the guys. But what do you benefit from being kind of a headline member of that team now?
the thing is, with the Coanda, we are working for a long time, and I like the atmosphere. And since I spent with them time in the house, also we are like getting good friends. So, and during the races, I spend time on the here, and I prepare my real race or sim race, whatever. I came here and I prepare before I go the real one. So, and since in the winter I'm full-time sim driver, so I think it's a good combination with them. I feel really comfortable with them, and I have a good time, and also I feel they can help me with my improvement on the sim. So for me it's a good decision, and I hope we will have some good results also in the sim with them. So also I want to I'm not here for some combination between sim and real. I want to also be part of their sim successes, because also I want to fight for the top biggest endurance races win in the sim. So this is the reason also.
So successes for you in motorsport are both sim, virtual, and also real. You have a similar kind of ambition to win headline virtual events like you do in the real world.
Yeah, for sure. Like in iRacing at the moment, I have some good results, but I don't win any big race. I have like Nubing 24-hour P3, P2, and I have Daytona P3, P4 something. But I want to win in iRacing. We have many special events, so I want to win as much as possible also in the sim, also in the real life. So until now in real life I never make 24-hour races something, but in the future if I can win everything in the boat, this feels really good.
A perfect combination of virtual and real world driver. I like that a lot. Talk a little bit about your feeling about the involvement that Porsche have in sim racing, because of course you've always driven a Porsche, but before you drove a Porsche had no real interest in sim racing. And over the last couple of years, they've built up their relationship and their passion for it. That must give you a huge amount of pleasure to know that you kind of sit at the middle ground of both sides.
Yeah, the story. I don't know the past, but when I was really like when I started Gran Turismo and stuff, we never have the Porsche in the game. So since that time, since that time, I don't know the reason. I was the age of 8. I don't know the reason why. I always there was some different name car. I always thought they had the Porsche with the different name. So I never know the reason, but I remember in the past we don't have this brand in the game. So and then now I think with iRacing now they have the world championship, so they are really on it. And with this virtual Le Mans, we see like when they focus on it, they just there for the being best. So from preparation, you can see they really focus on it. They do everything well, and then we get win. And this is the passion of I think the brand. So, and I really expect to see them in the future in the sim racing more. And if I can be part of this also combination, I will be really happy.
So you've talked a little bit about the ambitions to do the best in both the real and the virtual world. More specifically this season, where are you looking for? Obviously, you've still got the Porsche Super Cup, but are there virtual races that you want to get in your bucket list quite soon?
This year, like in a 3-week time, I race in Carrera Cup Le Mans, which is just before the Le Mans 24-hour with the cup cars. Yeah. So it's going to be one of the biggest cup race. So first, in the real life, I want to get this one because I win the virtual Le Mans. Yeah, I don't have chance to this year race in 24-hour Le Mans, but still I have chance to race in this special track with a big race. So now this is my biggest aim for the year. And then in the virtual one, I think we have Petit Le Mans. So I really want to do this one in the simulator, and I don't know what we have more in this year in the sim. I think this is the only race. So I want to focus this, and also I want to qualify for pro next year. So again, I want to get black license in iRacing. So yeah, we will see.
Hey, look, if Max Verstappen can qualify, so can you.
No, but Max is also really fast on the sim. I don't know, did you see his pace? But yeah,
yeah. Yeah, and I suppose just one last question, a bit off the topic of you, but lots of rumours about Formula One going back to Turkey this year. That must be incredibly exciting for a Turkish racing driver to have that attention back on the country.
I must say I'm not sure, but I think it's first time in 2006, and I was there, so it's maybe one of the most special day in my life because these cars and this atmosphere because also I live next to GP track. My house was just 5 minutes from there, so yeah, it's really special feeling for us, and it's really bad the track was not used for the long time, but also I really hope that we can see the new generation Formula One cars in this track because at the moment Formula One cars are really fast, and I think the Istanbul track was for this. So my feeling, the current cars and Istanbul GP track will be nice combination. So I really hope to see the Formula One back to Turkey. Yeah, it's for me it's a little bit disappointed because I race in Super Cup, and normally Super Cup is the support race of the Formula One. And if they put Istanbul beginning of the year, we will do Super Cup. Since they finished the contract and they decide in the middle of the year, there is no Super Cup in the Istanbul. So this is the only disappointed thing for me because my dream is always racing in this track. I never raced there before. So, but yeah, I really hope we have GP, and I hope it's just not for this year, just because of the COVID situation. I really hope the race came and stayed there, and we are the one of the part of the calendar for forever.
You need to go and massage some shoulders and put your arms around some people and say, "Come on, we can do another race. It's not that far. We can get it to finish the season there."
Yeah, the problem, the Porsche calendar was so busy with the National Cup, so all teams after Super Cup they go the National Championship. So I don't think there is chance to do, like, if there is chance I will push for it, but I don't believe there's a chance.
An invitational world final. I don't know. You can create something between you and your dad. I'm sure you can come up with something. Ayhancan, it's been a pleasure to chat to you. So interesting to hear about your passion for both the virtual and the real world of racing and how they align so normally. I love the fact that you're a virtual Le Mans winner, and I might even say hello to you in Le Mans in a couple of weeks' time when we can be in the same place at the same time. It's been a great chance to chat to you. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you too.
Ayhancan Güven, then a Coanda Simsport driver and Porsche Junior driver as well. A passionate sim racer and virtual racer and real life racer as well. Exactly what we like here on the VCO Studio Show. My name is Ben Constanduros. We'll see you next week.